Yo man, you wanna learn about Taino culture?
I am really reading about that.
Okay man, let's go!
Yeah, come on.
Hey Bioma, it's Jared Pubo,
I am Esteban Natter.
and welcome to Park-PuRiCultural
Lessons. The first inhabitants of Puerto Rico were the Tainos. They were descendants of the Arawak tribe from Venezuela. Puerto Rico was known by the Tainos as Puerto Rican. Before the arrival of the Spaniards, the inhabitants marched in the island. The physical description is that they were short but fit, copper-colored skin, hairless, wild face, thick lips, and good teeth. They were very good at agriculture. They lived of the food they harvested and hunted. The Naborias were responsible for agriculture and land care. His form of communication was through drawing, ceramic sculpture, and textile.
And today we went to el Centro Ceremonial Indígena de Caguana to learn more about our Puerto Rican past and how the Tainos lived. And our tour guide, Michael Guzman, explained a lot about it. So, hey Michael, take it away.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to this site. My name is Michael Guzman Rivera. I'm one of the museum guides here. And this afternoon I'm going to share a little bit of information about this very important historic and archaeological site. It is known as the Taino Ceremonial Center here in the Caguana neighborhood of the town of Utuado. This site is considered by many to be the major archaeological find in all the Caribbean, and for many reasons. One of the reasons why it's so important is because it represents the epitome of Taino culture. The site dates to the year approximately 1270 after Christ, or roughly 700 plus years ago, and it consists of 10 ceremonial courts that were built by the natives that used to inhabit this and neighboring islands, known as the Taino people. Okay? Most of the courts are rectangular, except for one which is in the shape of a horseshoe, or almost circular, with a boulder in the center. We believe that the natives used to gather together here in order to celebrate different socio-religious ceremonies and other kinds of activities. For example, we believe that they used to celebrate ceremonies in honor of their gods, rituals, trade, sports, political meetings, and other kinds of gatherings and social activities. So a place of gathering which definitely was sacred to them. The Tainos were polytheistic. They believed in a whole sorts of different deities and spirit beings. And one of the ways they used to represent their multiple gods was by carving three-pointed stone idols which they called semi, C-E-M-I. And why they chose to build so many courts in this spot is the fact that there flows a river almost completely surrounding the site. The name of the river is called Tanama. Tanama, in the dialect of the Arawak language that they spoke, meant butterfly. That's the name that they gave to that body of water. And it's also the place where they got many of the boulders that they used to build these ceremonial courts. They used mostly granite from the river and limestone from the surrounding mountains to construct the perimeters of each of the enclosures or ceremonial courts. There is one court that is larger than the rest. We call it the main ceremonial plaza. And it's there where they chose to carve the majority of their petroglyphs. Petro from stone and glyph from design. You're welcome to go inside. You can walk inside the ceremonial court. I recommend you walk in front of that row of boulders facing us, and that's where you'll be able to see most of the carvings. Any questions up to this point?
I have a question. How many, do you know how many words that from their language was translated to ours?
Well, from several dozen to several hundred. If you're interested in that subject, I recommend that you purchase the book called Diccionario de Voces Indígenas by Luis Hernández Aquino. You can buy that book on Amazon or on eBay, and there are several dozen if not a couple of hundred words that were gathered by the Spanish chronologists when they were here in the beginning of the 16th century. We still use many of these words in our language today, and as a matter of fact, many North Americans speak several of the words that the Taino people used to speak, and they're not even aware of it. But if they were to look up the derivation of these words, for example, canoe, hammock, hurricane, barbecue, there's a few others, manatee, tobacco, Carib. All of these words are derived from the Arawak language, and most North Americans speak them sometimes, and they don't even know that they're speaking part of the Taino dialect. So this is pretty interesting.
What Taino traditions are used today in Puerto Rico? Example, food, ceremony.
Sure. I'm sure you've tasted yuca, right? No, who hasn't tasted yuca if you live in Puerto Rico? So we eat some of the foods that they used to eat. Our Tainos were not only hunters, fishermen, and gatherers, they were also farmers. It was an agrarian society. They planted many things in the earth, just like our farmers still plant many things in the earth. And we still eat many of the foods that they ate. We still sleep in hammocks. Some of us buy hammocks to have a nap. So also the iguera. Here we still call it the way the Tainos call it, iguera. In English it's known as calabash, the calabash tree. When you go out to the field, you'll see some of the, I can see them from here, the igueras, right? Or calabash. The natives used to use them to make bowls. Not only bowls, but canteens and musical instruments, and we still follow that tradition. Our maracas, some of them are made from iguera, and some of our musicians use the traditional maraca. So, sure, some of our fishermen probably fished in a similar way that the natives used to fish, with nets. I've seen fishermen on the coast fishing with nets, like the Tainos probably fished with nets also. Yeah. So, yes, that's a very relevant question.
Well, today we came out with one shoe damage, but a lot of information though. Also, Tainos used to make different types of jewelry using stones, like necklaces, earrings, and all different kinds of body decorations. And today we learned so much about our Taino culture and how important it is to learn more about our past. And also, it's very impressive to see that they lived in such such a world with such limited requirements compared to what we have now. And also, we would like to thank Michael Guzman for giving us the tour, and everybody who works in this parque ceremonial, and we wouldn't be able to do this video without you guys. So thanks guys. And also we would like to recommend you this place. We will put the location on right here. You'll see it right now. And yeah, subscribe, like, comment, and get ready for some outtakes and some funny moments.
Ah, yeah.
Yo man, you wanna? Oh wait, shit! You should be over there. Oh wait, is this part of Taino culture? Good to know.
Hey everyone, my name is Jared Bobo. I am Esteban Natter, and welcome to PuRiCultural Lessons.